As a lifelong wildlife obsessive, I've got 3 reasons why I can't stop thinking about the Indo-Malay Archipelago. And all of them come back to 10 species so wildly improbable they feel like nature's plot twists. You might think you know jungles and islands, but this region plays by different rules, and every creature here seems to have evolved as if trying to outdo the last. And if you've ever wondered what it looks like when evolution goes off script, keep listening, because these 10 species aren't just animals. They're characters in a story of survival, deception, and sometimes outright chaos. The first shock hits the second you imagine the Komodo dragon, a creature that looks like it remembered it was supposed to go extinct with the dinosaurs but chose not to. What pulls me in isn't its size. It's the way it moves through its islands like a slow, inevitable disaster. Patient enough to stalk prey for hours, confident enough to wait for toxins to do the killing. It's the kind of predator that doesn't chase, it simply decides. And the idea that such a creature exists today cracks open a question. If this is the apex, what's hiding beneath it in the food web? That's when the Philippine eagle crashes into the story, and suddenly you realize the skies are just as lawless. This eagle doesn't hunt like other birds. It ambushes monkeys in the canopy with the kind of precision that feels choreographed. It's considered one of the rarest birds on Earth, which gives every sighting a strange tension, like watching a legend step quietly through the branches. You're left thinking, how does something so powerful become so endangered? And what's the cost of letting an apex vanish? I've seen folks mess up their assumptions about primates in 4 ways, and the Tarsier corrects every one of them. Imagine a creature the size of your fist, with eyes so large they look borrowed from an anime character. But it's the silence that hooks me. It hunts insects in the dark without making a sound, as if its entire nervous system is fine-tuned to secrecy. And its head rotates 180 degrees, something evolution clearly coded in for drama. The Tarsier makes you ask whether small things survive by hiding or by being unforgettable. But nothing rewrites your expectations like the Proboscis monkey. This species is proof that evolution occasionally prioritizes comedy. All noses, bellies, and strange honking calls. Yet beneath the odd design is a master swimmer capable of crossing wide rivers and diving to escape predators. They move in tight family groups, and when the males call across the mangroves, it's less a warning and more a proclamation. This is my forest. Deal with it. What seems goofy at first becomes strangely noble, and you start seeing beauty in the outliers. Ever heard about the dark side of mimicry? The Malayan krait is the answer. Sleek, elegant, and lethally venomous, it's one of the most dangerous snakes in Asia. But what unsettles me most is its quietness. It avoids conflict, prefers to glide away unseen, and yet carries venom potent enough to stop the human nervous system cold. When a creature this deadly chooses peace first, you begin to realize that survival here isn't about aggression, it's about restraint. Then comes the Bornean orangutan, who changes the tone completely. They move through the canopy with a kind of deliberate wisdom, as if each branch has been negotiated with. Watching one feels like eavesdropping on a long, slow conversation between the forest and an ancient mind. Their intelligence is disarming. They craft tools, identify medicinal plants, and display a patience humans rarely manage. And it's impossible not to feel a jolt of recognition. This is a cousin, a mirror, a reminder that our story began in trees, not unlike these. If you're diving into evolutionary weirdness in 2025, The sunder-flying lemur, which, by the way, isn't a lemur and doesn't actually fly, is your go-to plot twist. It glides across impossible distances, from tree to tree, almost like a living kite, and does it with absolutely zero noise. When you see it stretch its membranes and drift, you realize evolution engineered something closer to a magic trick than a mammal. It's the quiet species that teaches you movement isn't always about power. Sometimes it's about elegance. Then the ocean steps in and steals the spotlight with the dugong, a creature so gentle it feels improbable. It grazes on seagrass meadows as if the world moves in slow motion. But beneath that calm exterior lies a precarious existence. Boat strikes, habitat loss, and a reproductive cycle that doesn't keep pace with human expansion. The dugong's presence feels like a plea. Protect the quiet things before quiet becomes empty. Just when the story feels grounded again, the babirusa arrives, an animal so bizarre you'd swear it was designed by a committee that couldn't agree on anything. Curved tusks grow upward through the skin, curling back toward the skull. The first time I learned this, I genuinely thought someone was joking. But the babirusa carries itself with a dignity that defies its appearance. It roams the forests as though fully aware that survival favors the bold, the strange, and the persistent. And finally, the bird of paradise species of the region shatter the concept of what beauty means in nature. Their plumage is almost unreal. Electric blues, fiery oranges, shapes that flare into impossible geometry. But what hooks me more than their feathers are their dances. They clear a stage, prune branches, rehearse choreography like tiny feathered performers auditioning for a role. Their lives revolve around one thing, creating a moment so mesmerizing that another bird chooses them. They're proof that sometimes survival isn't about strength or stealth, it's about art. By the time you reach the end of these 10 species, a strange realization sets in. The Indo-Malay Archipelago isn't just a hotspot of biodiversity. It's a stage where evolution experiments fearlessly. Every creature here feels like a story unfolding, one where survival is creativity, strangeness is strategy, and nothing is ever predictable. And maybe that's why this region stays lodged in the imagination. It reminds us that the world is not finished writing itself. Not even close.